Hey everyone, we're back again to read some more from There's a Boy in the Girls' Bathroom. Today we are picking up on chapter 18 and it starts on page 67. From around the corner of the brick building, Bradley watched the end of Jeff's basketball game. Every time Jeff took a shot, Bradley prayed he'd miss. When the bell rang, he hurried back to class ahead of Jeff and the other boys. He sat at his desk, last seat, last row, and took out one of his books. It didn't matter which one. He stared at it very intently as Jeff sat down next to him. Well, maybe it was okay for Jeff to have other friends, he decided as he turned the page. I'm still his best friend. That's what he told the principal. Jeff wouldn't lie to the principal. Maybe I'll get to play basketball with his new friends too, like Carla said. Jeff, he whispered. He wanted to tell Jeff that everything was still okay, that they could still be friends. Hey, Jeff. Jeff didn't look up from his work. Jeff works hard, Bradley realized. That's how he gets all the gold stars. He had to wait until after school. Hey, Jeff, he said as soon as the bell rang. Jeff picked up his books and started out the door. Bradley hurried after him. Jeff, he called, wait up. Jeff stopped and slowly turned around. Bradley suddenly felt very nervous. Do you want to do our homework together, he asked. I can come over to your house if you want, or you can come over to mine. We can use my books, see? He showed Jeff his books. Hey, out of our way, Chalkers, said Robbie as he and Brian pushed past him. Chicken Chalkers, said Brian. Yeah, Chalkers, said Jeff. Bradley walked away. He heard Jeff and his new friends laughing behind him. But when he got home, his own friends were very glad to see him. We're so glad you're home, said Ronnie. We missed you. We're glad you didn't go over to Jeff's house. You're our best friend, said Bartholomew. Hooray for Bradley, shouted the wooden hippopotamus. Hip, hip, hooray, yelled all the other animals. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, said the hippo one last time. Hooray. Let's play a game, said the donkey. What do you want to play, asked Ronnie. Anything but basketball, said Bartholomew. I hate basketball. Basketball's a stupid game, Ronnie agreed. It's the worst game in the world, said the hippopotamus. Why would anybody want to play basketball, laughed the ivory donkey. All the other animals laughed too. Chapter 19. Everything returned to normal. Bradley scribbled, cut up bits of paper, and taped things together. He hated everyone, and everyone hated him. That was the way he liked it. He shuddered when he remembered that he actually had almost done his homework. He couldn't imagine anything more horrible than that. And he was glad Jeff wasn't his friend anymore. He realized he was better off without friends. In fact, he never was friends with Jeff. I was just pretending to be his friend. He decided he'd never pretend to be anybody's friend again. Jeff was normal now too. That was what he told Carla. He walked into her office and announced, I don't need any help anymore. I have 8 friends now. We play basketball every recess and lunch, and I'm the best player. Good for you, Jeff, said Carla. I'm very proud of you. How many friends have you made? He asked. I don't keep score, said Carla. I've made 8, said Jeff. I've always considered quality to be more important than quantity when it comes to friendship, said Carla. 8, repeated Jeff, and I'm not friends with Bradley anymore either. I'm sorry to hear that. Why? I'm not. I hate him. In fact, he looked around the room. I gave him a black eye. He quickly glanced at Carla to see if she knew he was lying, then looked away. What happened? Carla asked. Oh, you know, he wouldn't stop bothering me. I kept telling him to get lost, but he kept hanging around. I never liked him. No one does. Then he said to me, give me $1 or I'll spit on you. Well, no one threatens me and gets away with it. I don't take that from nobody. So he tried to hit me, but I ducked, then punched his face in. I didn't want to do it, but I had no choice. That was the short version. Jeff had told the same story to his 8 new friends, but he usually made it much longer. So, I don't think I need to see a counselor anymore, he said, since I have 8 friends. Okay, Jeff, if that's how you feel, said Carla. They might think I'm weird or something, he explained. Well, we can't let them have them thinking that. Does that mean I can go? Carla nodded. But anytime you want to talk again, please feel free to come and see me. She smiled. Even if you just feel like getting out of class for a while. He left, glad to be out of there. On his way back to class, he walked past the girls' bathroom. He stopped, shook his head, and chuckled to himself. It seemed like it was such a long time ago when he accidentally went in there. I used to be such a jerk, he thought. He smiled a strange smile. He stretched his mouth so wide it was hard to tell whether it was a smile or a frown. Chapter 20. Colleen walked into Carla's office. "I just came to tell you I can't talk to you," she said. "Your parents didn't sign the form?" "No, and they won't either. You know what they said? They said it was a waste of money for the school to hire you. They said you should get married and have your own children before you start telling other parents how they should raise theirs." Carla shrugged. "They said if I have any problems, I should talk to them. But when I try to talk to them, they don't listen." She sighed. "Anyway, it doesn't matter. Jeff has lots of other friends now besides Bradley." "8," said Carla with a smile. "So now I can invite Jeff to my birthday party without having to invite Bradley. I can invite one of Jeff's other friends. Andy's nice. I couldn't invite Bradley even if I wanted to because Melinda is my best friend, except for Lori, and she gave Bradley a black eye." Colleen quickly covered her mouth with her hand and slowly took it away. "That was supposed to be a secret," she said. "Melinda doesn't want anybody to know." "I never repeat anything anyone tells me," Carla assured her. "Good," said Colleen. "Melinda would kill me. Have you asked Jeff to your party yet?" "No, not yet, but I will. I know he likes me because he always says hello to me when I say hello to him. But then I always get so scared. I never know what to say next. I wish you could help me. Why did my parents say such bad things about you? They don't even know you." "Your parents are just trying to do what's best for you," said Carla. "A lot of people think counselors don't belong in schools." She shrugged. "I guess they're afraid I might fill your head with all kinds of crazy ideas." Chapter 21. "Hello, Bradley," said Carla. "It's a pleasure to see you today. I appreciate your coming to see me." She held out her hand. "I punched myself in the eye," he said as he walked past her. He didn't want her thinking someone else gave it to him. "I'm the only one who can beat me up." "Did it hurt?" she asked. "No," he said, sitting at the round table. "Nobody can hurt me, not even me." She sat across from him. She was wearing a light blue shirt with yellow mice running all over it. The shirt was the same color as her eyes. The mice were the same color as her hair. "I wanted to hit somebody," he explained as he stared at her shirt, "but if I hit another kid, I would have gotten in trouble, so I hit myself." "Why'd you want to hit somebody?" "Because I hate him." "Who?" "Everybody." "Is that why you hit yourself? Do you hate yourself?" He didn't answer. He thought it was another one of her trick questions. "Do you like yourself?" she asked. He didn't trust that question either. "Maybe the reason you say you don't like anybody else is because you really don't like yourself." "I like myself," he said. "You're the one I don't like." "Tell me some things about yourself that you like." He glared at her. "I like you," she said. "I think you have lots of good qualities, but I want you to tell me things you like about yourself." "I can't talk anymore," he said. "Why not?" "I'm sick. The doctor said I can't talk. The more I talk, the sicker I get." "That sounds serious." "It is. I've probably said too much already, and it's your fault. I'll probably throw up." Carla nodded. "Don't say another word," she said quietly. "We'll just sit here together in silence. Sometimes people can learn a lot about each other by just sitting together in silence." She locked her mouth shut, then opened it to swallow the key. "You're weird," said Bradley. "A lot of people tell me that," she admitted, then put her finger to her lips. They sat together in silence. Bradley shifted in his chair. His eyes darted restlessly around the room. He put his hands behind his head and leaned back, then brought his hands out in front of him and folded them. Then he unfolded them. He didn't like sitting together in silence. He thought she was probably learning too much about him. "I can probably talk a little bit," he said. "No, I don't want you to get sick," said Carla. "I like you too much." "The doctor says I'm supposed to talk a little, just not a lot." "All right, shall we talk about school?" "No, the doctor says if I talk about school, I'll die." Carla frowned. "That's a problem," she said. "See, as part of my job, I'm supposed to help you do better in school. But how can I help you if we can't even talk about it?" Bradley put his fingers to his chin and thought it over. "I know," he said. "Just tell everybody that you tried to help me, but I wouldn't let you. Tell them that I was too mean and nasty. That's it. Tell them I said I'd spit on you." "Oh, no, I couldn't say that about you," said Carla. "You're too nice." "They'll believe you," he assured her. "It doesn't matter whether they believe me or not," said Carla. "I'd know it was a lie." So when you tell a lie, the only person you're lying to is yourself." He didn't see anything wrong with that. If you're only lying to yourself and you know it's a lie, then it doesn't matter. I just wish I knew why a smart kid like you keeps failing." "It's because Mrs. Ebel doesn't like me," said Bradley. "Shh," said Carla, "don't talk about it." "Well, I can probably talk about school a little bit without dying," he said. "Okay," said Carla hesitatingly, "but as soon as you feel even a little bit like dying, let me know and we'll stop." They talked about school for about 15 minutes before Bradley felt like dying. Carla pointed out that the same questions that were on the test were also on his homework assignments. She suggested that if he did his homework, the tests might be easy for him. "The tests are easy," he told her. "I could get 100 if I wanted. I'm the oldest kid in the class. I answer all the questions wrong on purpose." "You want to know what I think?" asked Carla. "I think you would like to get good grades. I think that the only reason you say you want to fail is because you're afraid to try. You're afraid that even if you try, you'll still fail." "I'm not afraid of anything," said Bradley. "I think you're afraid of yourself," said Carla. "But you shouldn't be. I have lots of confidence in you, Bradley. I know you'd do so well if only you'd try. I can help you. We can help each other. We can try together." It was then that he told her he couldn't talk about school anymore or else he'd die. She thanked him for talking about it as much as he had. "You were very brave," she said. She suggested that for their next meeting he make a list of topics to discuss so that they wouldn't have to risk talking about school again. "Is that homework?" he asked. "No," she assured him. "You don't even have to put your name at the top." "Good," said Bradley. He was glad it wasn't homework. It was time to return to class. "Thank you for sharing so much with me today," Carla said to him. "I enjoyed your visit very much." She held out her hand. He stuck his hands in his pockets and walked out of her office. Chapter 22. All week, Bradley worked on his list of topics to discuss with Carla. "It's not homework," he kept telling himself. "In fact, it's the opposite of homework, because if I think of some good topics, then we won't have to talk about homework." He didn't scribble during class. He listened closely to what Mrs. Ebel and the other kids said in order to get ideas for his list. He took it with him wherever he went. At recess, he kept his eyes and ears open, constantly on the lookout for a new topic. The other kids were meaner to him than they'd ever been before. They were no longer afraid of him. They called him names, and when he didn't do anything about it, they called him more names. A fourth grade boy who wanted to show off to his friends ran up to him and said, "You're not even human. You're a monster. You're a monster from outer space." The boy ran away, but Bradley didn't chase him. He added 3 new topics to his list: humans, monsters, and outer space. Monday was Halloween. Most of the kids brought costumes, which they were allowed to put on at lunch. Brian, one of Jeff's friends, didn't bring a costume, so he borrowed a black magic marker from Mrs. Ebel and colored a circle around one eye. When he came back from lunch, he told everyone he was Bradley Chalkers. While everyone laughed, Bradley busily worked on his list. It covered both sides of 3 sheets of paper. And these are numbered. I'm not going to read all the numbers, but just listen to what's on the list. Number 1, trees that lose their leaves, gold stars, chalk, tape. Are chickens really afraid? Why people laugh. What does it feel like to be shot in the leg? Pencils, pencil sharpeners, accidents, coffee, military school, canes, basketball, friends, enemies, hopscotch, dodgeball, foursquare, 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato, more, less, nothing at all. What's it like to be in jail? Good boys, bad boys, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Have you ever been to the White House? Who shot my father? Why did he get away? Peanut butter and jelly, gold stars, black eyes, fighting, girls with big mouths. What's it like inside a girl's bathroom? Saying hello, reflexes, hate. When will I be able to grow a beard? Things that smell bad, things you like about yourself, things you don't like about yourself, things nobody likes about yourself, things you don't like about anybody else. Gold stars. Does my head look like a chili bowl? Closets, hiding places, dreaming, bad dreams. I wish I could fly. Kids with glasses, glasses you drink from. Why people like some people and hate other people. Breaking things. I wish I was invisible. Crybabies. What happens to you when you grow old? Humans, monsters, outer space. Why is Halloween a holiday? Pirates, princesses, ghosts. What happens when you die? What if you were never born? Can someone else be you? Can you be someone else? If I was someone else, I wouldn't make fun of me. Magic markers. He didn't go trick-or-treating that evening, though Ronnie and Bartholomew did. The other animals gave them lots of candy. I'm making a list of topics to talk about with my counselor, he told them. Do you have any ideas? How about rabbits, suggested Ronnie. That's a good one, said Bradley. He added rabbits to the list. Bears, said Bartholomew. That's good too. Claudia barged into his room. Bradley quickly shoved his list under the pillow on his bed. How about what Dad's going to do to you when he finds out you're flunking, she asked. That's a good topic. What are you talking about, asked Bradley. The list. What list? Oh, I don't know, said Claudia. She slowly wandered toward the bed, then lunged for the pillow. Bradley dived for it too, but Claudia beat him to it. She held the list above her head and read it. As she looked at each new page, she cracked up laughing. What's so funny, he demanded. Your list. What's wrong with it? This isn't the kind of stuff you talk about with a counselor. How do you know? Chalk, asked Claudia. What can you say about chalk? A lot, he insisted. Claudia laughed. 1 potato, 2 potato. Your counselor's going to be mad when she sees this. Give it to me. Yes, she answered, as if he had asked a question. Yes, what? Yes, your head looks like a chili bowl. She laughed. Shut up. Who shot my father, read Claudia. How's she going to know that? Bradley shrugged. Claudia gave him back the list. You wrote gold stars 3 times, she said, shaking her head. Bradley grabbed it from her hand and looked at what he had written. That's the stupidest list I've ever seen, said Claudia. Your counselor's not going to want to talk about anything on that list. You don't know her, he replied. She'll talk about anything I want to talk about. She listens to me. She likes me. No, she doesn't, scoffed Claudia. That's just her job. She walked out of his room laughing. Bradley watched her go. Then he added 2 new topics to his list, sisters and jobs. Tears filled his eyes as he tried to think of another topic. He crossed off 2 of the gold stars, then crumpled the list into a ball and threw it in his trash basket. All right, we're going to stop there. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.